Hi there, and welcome to today's video. I'm super excited to bring you yet another video that brings a lot of some knowledge actually that we can share. And the feedback that I've gotten from my nieces and nephews, that makes me super excited. Perhaps maybe we should start a family club where we learn all this stuff one by one. I'm big on giving back to the community and actually supporting those who are starting off from campus. So if you watch this video and you know you are my niece, my nephew, or even a friend of my nieces and nephews, let's catch up and let's start this as a club so that we can start, you can start building a future that you're dreaming about. There's another video that I said, if I knew all this when I was 25 years old, actually, I would be a multi-billionaire. So I learned a little later, but I love to share what I know so that we can build each other. I'm also actually learning from your comments. So thank you so much. So today we have yet another beautiful topic, still around money. I think we love money, don't we? If without money, how would you actually do a few things that you do? People say that there are people actually who have a certain belief that money is the root of all evil, or money brings unhappy, whatever, or problems into a family. Tell you what, it's not like that. Money is good. Money brings happiness. If you utilize it well, if you actually use it to benefit you, but if you use it to mess you up, it will definitely become that root of all evil. So for those people who want to live a good, happy life, exciting life, and a life that where you can leave a legacy, yeah, then make as much money as you can, right? So let's see what today's topic has. Very interesting topic. How much money you should have saved by age. So this is what we are learning today. How much money should you have saved by what age? These are around personal financial planning. And as I said in a previous video, when I'm coaching or when I get some people to coach, and I ask them, where would you want to be when you're at a particular age? I remember like one guy I was speaking to, he's about 30 something. He talked about retiring at the age of 45. And that was around 13 years from where he is right now. Is it 13? Yes, about 13 years. I think he's 32 there. And he said, at the age of 45, I want to have retired. I want to have achieved this and that. I loved that conversation. Reason being that this person is focused. This person is building something. This person is actually discovering himself, discovering what can work for him, and is building a future that works for him. So that was really encouraging. And that's why I'm saying, nieces and nephews, if you know you're around 20 something, 30 something, you're many of you, let's have a conversation. So for you to be able to build that future that you want, to achieve that you want at a particular age, you need to reflect back and forward. Yeah. Have you ever wondered how much money you should be saving by whatever age? So by age 25, how much money should you have saved? Perhaps you graduated at the age of 23, it's 2 years down the line. Are you saving anything in the first place? That is, if you're making some money, whether employed or you're self-employed, how much are you saving? Do you have any savings at all, right? Then did you know you should be saving a lot more money in your 20s than much later? Why? Because when you're in your 30s or 40s, perhaps you have a family. So commitments are huge. So if in your 20s, you wasted all the money, what does that mean? In your 30s, in your 40s, you'll be in trouble. So if you're in your 20s and you're watching this particular video, please start opening a certain account that can actually multiply your money. You can watch other videos that have spoken about how you can save and earn some interest on your money. So the third question is, how old are you today and how much have you saved so far? Do some reflection and start adding up. Are you saving actually, or what's happening? The other day I was speaking to a certain lady, they're youngsters, they're in their 20s, and she was in a group of ladies and was saving in a chama. But for some reason, she wanted to quit the chama. The chama. The chama is actually the group of ladies who pull money together and save. And sometimes they do merry-go-rounds so that after a certain time, somebody gets all the lump sum. And during the quitting, I think she couldn't get anything and was in trouble. So even when you're saving, be careful how you're saving, what channel you're using, right? If you're actually pulling money together, what kind of memorandum do you have with the team or amongst yourselves? How trustworthy are you? And would actually someone run away with your money? So you have to do some due diligence properly amongst the teams that you're working with, so that you can actually, pulling money together is actually the best thing. Actually, some people have even bought property, right? Here in Nairobi, actually, they have huge properties out of pulling money together. So it can be a good thing, but sometimes it gets misused when people are not trustworthy within the group. So some due diligence on the type of people that you work with, that you're actually investing with, is very critical, yeah? Then the last question is, now that you're pulling money together, or maybe you're not pulling money together, you're saving it somewhere, is it working for you? Because when you talk about money working for you, it should actually be multiplying, it should actually be, you should be benefiting in one way or another, right? Like, for example, there are a number of people who say they prefer saving in a circle. Why? When they want to do a big project, they will get money, their savings times 3, and they're able to do a big project. And from there, they will definitely, yes, pay that loan with an interest, but at least they're able to do a project. So is the money working for you? Just do some reflections and find out, what are you doing with your money that you're earning, right? So now that we are looking at how much money you should be saving by what age, let's assume that you do not save at all. How would life look like? Assume in your 20s, you're just partying, taking the wines, the beer, entertainments, friends, fun, and you had no care in the world. Then in your 30s, you get married, you start having children. Sometimes people even continue partying, they forget that they have a family, right? And the problems start there, because you have a family to take care of, and at the same time, you're still partying, right? So what happens? Problems. Then in your 40s, the kids start going to school. So on top of that, you have school fees, you have vehicle, you're to insure, you're attempting to pay off a mortgage, perhaps you took at the age of 30, but you're still partying and you're still enjoying life. Is that workable? Is it happening? In fact, if at this point you can start reflecting, depending on what age you are when you're watching this particular video, are you in your 40s? Are you in your 30s? Are you in your 20s? What are you doing with your money? Is this a reflection of you, right? Then assume you continue going on, and in your 50s, perhaps you have stopped drinking because you have realized you're deep in debt, right? The children now are going to university. University is not cheap, right? And perhaps even you don't have a job, because in your 50s, a lot of people actually leave employment and they start their own businesses. A lot of people actually retire at that point in time. Your children now are big. Yes, they're in university, or maybe some of them are completing university, they cannot find a job. What's happening around you? And in your 60s, definitely you've retired and you're in deep trouble. Perhaps even the mortgage you never finished paying. Children don't have a job. You are depressed. And perhaps in the 70s, you're drowning. Yeah? You're even now, friends and relatives are the ones that are feeding you, and you're full of regrets. The game is over. In that short story, if you reflect on yourself and where you are, what age you are at right now, are you going to end up at this point at age 70 or age 80, 90? Yeah, you might even not reach that age 70. If you're in your 20s and all you're doing is throw your money out there, go to YouTube and you're going to social media, you're just making silly comments in there. You're not using your social media effectively to help yourself. Life is about you and yourself and helping yourself. It has nothing to do with those people who you think are thinking about you. They're not thinking about you. By the way, everybody is fighting their own devils, right? Everybody is fighting their own problems. So nobody is actually thinking about you. Just work on yourself, use that phone wisely, that computer wisely, help yourself, build your own life, have a focus, and definitely this will not be the story that you'll be telling people at that age, right? So let's move on. If you're thinking about a lifestyle that you'll be excited about at the end of the day, when you're 80, when you're 90, you need to start investing and even saving. I've talked about this so many times. Work towards building a healthy and desirable future. And make sure that your net worth, which is assets minus liability, is worthwhile. So in this particular lesson today, we'll be talking about your assets minus your liabilities, or what is your net worth at what age, right? This came from Fidelity UK. It's something I was actually reading online. I think Fidelity is an insurance company in the UK, if I'm not wrong. I was just going through this material, and this is what they suggest. Perhaps it happens in the UK, but you can put a formula for yourself from which country, whichever country you come from. Yeah. If you're in Kenya like me, perhaps you can apply this one. It may work. Just multiply this by 110 or 113 and work with it the way it is, because I don't think we have this kind of research in Kenya. So in your 20s, you're supposed to be saving 25% of your gross income. That is how much you should be saving by that age. 25% of your gross before deductions. So if you're being paid 20,000 Kenya shillings, which is $200, right? What's a quarter of that? It's about $50. You should be, is it? Yes, $50. You should be saving $50, right? So if your annual income is $12,000, which is about 120, is it 1.2 million Kenya shillings? Then you should be saving 3,000 per year. This is an annual income, all right? In your 30s, you should be saving 1 times your annual salary. And remember, it's gross, huh? It's before deduction, not net, it's gross. So this is what you should be saving yearly. So if your annual income is $25,000, which is about 2.5 million Kenya shillings, by the end of the year, your net worth should be 2.5 million. Your net worth, it means that perhaps if you value the plots you have bought, if you value the assets that you've actually accumulated and cash in bank, it should actually be worth that much. Yeah, and then minus the liabilities, the loans that you've taken, okay, should be worth that much. If you're in your 30, if you're 35 years old, it should be 2 times, right? 2 times your gross income. And that should be about 80,000. Your net worth should be 80,000. That's about 8 million Kenya shillings, right? Your net worth. So the plot you've bought at 35, maybe you have a house. Yeah, it could be on mortgage. You'll minus that, the balance from it. But the value of that house minus the balance plus the other plots that you have should be worth 8 million Kenya shillings. At age 40 should be 3 times, right? At age 45 should be 4 times. And remember, this annual income is just estimates. You could be earning more, you could be earning less. It's up to you to replace that annual income with what exactly you're earning right now, all right? At the age of 55, it should be, actually your net worth should be 6 times your annual income. So what we are saying here is that if your annual income is 100,000, which is about 10 million Kenya shillings, you should actually, your net worth should be 60 million Kenya shillings, which is about $600,000. Remember, at 50, 55, you're actually on your way out if you're employed. So where are you at, right? If you're 30 or 35, you're not yet where these numbers are saying. You're not actually, your worth, your net worth is not 2 times your annual salary. What is it that you're going to do to be able to catch up? So this is just a simple formula that was done by Fidelity UK, and you can just learn from it. You can borrow some ideas here. I'm not saying that you cut and paste and start utilizing it as it is. It depends on your financial goals and how you want to live your life. So just set your life the way you want and use a calculator over here and keep reflecting back. In fact, one thing I've always said is that come up with personal strategic plan for at least 5 years. If we are in 2022, where would you want to be in 2027, right? If you take now these particular calculations here, apply it to yourself and say, in 2027, I'll be this age and I want to have accumulated this much, even if you're behind, you know, in terms of your net worth right now, but just come up with that figure in the next 5 years. Then every year, keep reflecting back to it and say, am I on the right track? What can I improve? Should I change a job? If I'm not getting a promotion, if my business, I'm running it and it's not making that much money, how can I spice it up, make it different so that my customers can actually be a little bit more? Do I increase the prices? What do I do? So you will have actually a goal and you have a path and a direction that you're heading in life. So this was just an example of what you can do. And perhaps you are learning quite a bit and how you can apply. You just borrow ideas from what I'm speaking about. I'm not saying that you implement them as they are, so that you can start having a direction in life, yeah? So the exercise for today is, what is your current net worth, right? Compared to your salary currently. If at that age it says your net worth is 3 times, is it really 3 times? And if not, how are you going to improve your savings going forward or your investment to be able to catch up? Okay, so just build a financial goal here using these examples of this formula, and then start working towards them. And for those people who are in their 60s, by the way, it's never late, right? KFC was started by a 65-year-old. So if you're 60 today, say at 70, those are whole 10 years, I will have caught up. I'll be actually 10 times my gross income, okay? Or whatever, if you use the formulas here and you say, I'll make sure that my gross income will be 100,000 times 6, I'll be at 600,000, and you pin that figure there, in the next 10 years, you could definitely be able to work towards it. All right, so it's been wonderful speaking with you. I hope you have learned something and you're going to do some financial goal setting for the year 2022 to improve your life, definitely. I believe we cannot be happy if we were all working towards improving ourselves, right? It's always good to start one step, build to the next step, to the next step, to the next step. And definitely we are all happy people. We'll just be cheering one another. There's no need of trying to pull the other down, because we are actually, our lifestyle or our lives are very different from each other. No need to compete. You're competing for what, right? You have a different life, we have a different life. Even if we were in the same profession, your clientele and my clientele are different, because the clients that would want to work with Lucy Munga are very different from a client that would want to work with you, because the chemistry between us is different, you and your clientele. And maybe we're actually doing the same business. We are all coaches, for instance. So there's no competition. Let's just work towards our own personal goals and focus, look forward, and be happy. There's no competition in the world, right? On each other. There's no need of competing. All right, so if you have enjoyed this particular video, please like, comment, and share with your friends. And on top of that, if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe and click that bell so that you can be alerted when the new videos are uploaded. Thank you so much for listening in. It's been a pleasure being with you today. Have a good bye for now.